Hello out there. How are you? I'm going to give a couple of minutes for people to hop on. I hope that you are having a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. Yes, I do have my cup with my drink because I get to talking a lot and I get thirsty. So come on in. Welcome, welcome. I'm just giving people a couple of minutes to hop on before I get started because this is a long story, y'all. So welcome to my new series, Confessions of a Former Fat Girl. So I'm just giving a couple minutes for people to hop on and then I'll get started. We're definitely breaking this up into episodes. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much. One of my friends is getting married this weekend. And so we had our little congratulations, welcome. We're kicking you out of the group party tonight. So I'm just getting home from that. And she enjoyed it. She's leaving tomorrow. She's having a destination wedding in Florida. So, hey, how you doing? So this is, I literally just walked through the door a few minutes ago. So, all right. So let's get started because I don't want to keep you all too late. But welcome to Confessions of a Former Fat Girl. I'm Dr. Shermnae. I'm a dentist. I'm a certified master life coach and the proud owner of Voluptuocity, which is a health and wellness store. I want to share my story of my journey in hopes that it'll reach people. I am somewhat of a private person, so it's kind of funny telling my story. However, if the things that I've been through can help someone else, then my purpose has been fulfilled. Okay, so I did make some notes. So if you see me look down, I'm looking at my notes, make sure I touch all the points that I wanted to touch in this particular episode. Feel free to share with a friend, whatever. Okay, so as I said, I'm Dr. Shermnae. And, yes, I do all these wonderful things. I'm a dentist. I'm a life coach. I have a health and wellness store, all of these things. However, beyond my professional titles, I'm someone who has walked the difficult path of transformation. I know what it's like to feel trapped in a body that doesn't feel like your own, to struggle with weight loss, and to face the emotional toil that comes with it. This series is my way of allowing you to get to know me, the real me, okay? The me that a lot of people don't get to see, by sharing the real unfiltered story of my journey from feeling powerless and overwhelmed to reclaiming my health, my confidence, and my life. Welcome to episode 1. This is all about the moments that changed everything and the things leading up to it. Okay, the turning point that set me on a new path. My hope is that my story will inspire you to find your own moment of change, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. So let's dive in and start this journey together. Now, this may get emotional, so you may want your tissues just in case. I'm a Cancer. I'm an emotional person, so I don't know what's going to come up. I'm just giving you fair warning, okay? Get your tissues, get your water. If you happen to drink some wine, whatever it is. And let's sit and have a chat. So let's start at the very beginning. I've been overweight my entire life, okay? So when I was 2, I was already 12 and a half pounds overweight. I found one of the slips from one of my doctor visits. So regardless of the fact I ate, according to mom, because of course I don't remember that far back, but according to mom, I ate normal sized child portions. I was very active. I was always outside. I love sports. So I was always out running, playing football, basketball. Yes, I played with the boys. I was not the Barbie girl. I was the girl outside with the boys playing the sports and with the cars and the trucks and digging in the dirt. And those were very active things, but I was still a big kid. So as you can imagine, life was very miserable. Okay. It was constant teasing, bullying. People would say some of the strangest, most thoughtless things. People, family members and friends, all under, oh, I'm just joking. It's just a joke. Well, you have to be careful with the things that you say to people because you don't know how that's going to impact them. You don't know how they internalize that and how that may manifest in their future. So, when you're a child, you don't understand. You're not reasoning all of this. You're not reasoning, oh, it's just a joke. They're just, all you seeing is that you're being rejected and you want to be accepted. We're human. We want other humans to like us. We want other humans to want to be around us, to want us to be around them, to have fun with us, to love on us. So as a child, all you're seeing is I'm not getting this love and attention and affection that I want from, your friends, your family, whomever. So what I decided to try to do, since I couldn't seem to get acceptance, I used to try to earn acceptance. So, I pushed myself hard in school. I pushed really hard to do well in school, found out that, I'd had an aptitude for math and science, as well as an interest in math and science. So, I just aimed toward that way because, hey, I get good grades, maybe this will get me the acceptance, the love that I'm looking for. That kind of backfired because that actually led to even more bullying by, kids in the neighborhood. Oh, you think you're better than us. Oh, you just think you're just so smart, blah, blah, blah. So it was still not giving me the results that I wanted. And even then, when I did do those things, it still wasn't good enough because all people ever saw was my size. Like I was just big. And every fat joke I got, I remember we were out playing. I was probably around, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old, somewhere in there. And we were playing something outside. It was a group of us. And one of the boys was like, oh, it's not over till the fat lady sings. And one of the other boys was like, sing, Shermnae. And I'm like, and this is the stuff that I used to have to deal with. And you have to try to laugh it off, but that stuff is really hurtful. You see, I am 42 years old and I'm telling you about something that happened when I was 7 or 8. So, it's just, living a life like that, because this world is definitely not friendly to bigger people. People love to insert their unasked for opinions and thoughts into things. It's like, I didn't ask you for that. I don't know if people don't think that people who are bigger don't have a mirror. Like, I know what I look like. I know what I weigh. I don't need you to further make me feel even worse than I probably already do about a situation that I'm doing my best to work through. But we'll get into that. So all of that, followed me through my teen years, my young adult years. And it was just this ongoing cycle. I would be trying to lose weight like over and over and over and over and over. Like I would put myself on these ridiculous diets. It was all kind of stuff I just could not stick to. I tried starving myself at one point. I somehow got a hold of some diet pills. My mom found those and she went ballistic. I was doing all kinds of things because I was just tired. I was tired of being picked on, tired of being insulted, tired of being the butt of people's jokes, tired of being embarrassed in front of people. One of the instances I can remember of truly being embarrassed and wanting to just fall through the floor was my freshman year in high school. I transferred to a new high school. So I went to private school, K through 8. So 9th grade, first time in public school. So we were in homeroom and this guy wrote me a note. And he had passed it up to me because we sat in alphabetical order. So I was in the front, towards the front of the class. He was towards the back. So he wrote a letter and it said something along the lines of, hey, I think you're kind of cool. I would like to talk to you. Come back here and talk to me, blah, 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 blah. I turn around and look at this dude, and he's all smiling. And I'm like, okay, well, he's kind of nice looking. And I talked to one of my girlfriends. She was older. She was a sophomore. And she was like, well, shoot, yeah, go ahead and talk to him. Go, say something to him tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, I go home. I get all nice, in the morning, wake up, get all nice and cute, get on the school bus, get to school, go over and talk to him. And he said, oh, I was just playing. Like, literally everybody in the classroom just cracking up. And it was just so embarrassing. It was so hurtful. And, you're 14 years old. You're in that weird adolescent stage. You're kind of a child, but really taking place in your thought process. There we go. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. It said that it was paused due to poor connection. But anyway, those things tend to really set up and they help you form your opinions about yourself. Now, you've already been ragged your entire life about your looks, about your weight, about, so you're already not feeling the best about yourself. And then it's just repeating and finding you're getting older now. So this is becoming part of your identity. So of course you try to find other ways and things to do to try to compensate again, because you're trying to get this acceptance that you're not getting. So, it was just really hard. High school, all of it. It was quite an interesting time. Some people are like, yeah, I would go back and I don't want to go back to that part. not the childhood and the young adulthood that I had. I don't want to go back to that. Okay. That it was just not a great time for me. No, I went to my junior prom. I did not go to my senior prom. I just wasn't that girl. I wasn't the girl that, was popular in that way. Like, I was popular with the boys because I liked sports and things like that. But as far as being the girl that the guys wanted to go out with, that wasn't me. It almost, it was just really weird. And some people, oh, that's because you like the bad boys. Absolutely not. I like the nerdy dude with the glasses on that might have braces, that was sitting at the front of the class, because I'm attracted to intelligence. Okay. But those guys, they weren't checking for me. They were checking for, the cheerleaders or the other types, or, the girls that weren't big. That just wasn't a thing back when I was in high school or college, which let's speed up to college. So I went to college my freshman year and I'm like, okay, you know what? We're going to do this. I'm grown, quote unquote grown. I'm 18. So I started meeting with the dietitian on campus. I started exercise. Like, I would exercise all the time. My friends from college will tell you that. One of them in particular, she will always tell me, like, I don't understand why you're your size. You work out more than I do. You eat way better than I do. Ironically, she's a physician now, and she still tells me I eat better than she does. So that's kind of interesting. She'll probably hop on at some point. But by the end of my freshman year, I ended up losing around 30 pounds, but that's like as much as I would be able to lose at a time. Like, it was always this cycle, this up and down yo-yo, this gain, lose, gain, lose, gain, lose, gain, lose. And it just was a repeating cycle. And that followed me all through my 20s and my 30s. Every time I would make an attempt and I would go hard and it would be about 20 or 30 pounds or so. And then it would just stop. And I just couldn't push any further past that point. And then things would happen. Life, stress. I decided to go to graduate school. Lord help me. That was one of probably the most unhealthiest times of my life. Being so stressed and so overworked, trying to get this degree. But what I didn't know at the time is that I had several things that were fighting against me and my efforts to lose weight. The number one thing I hated myself, and you cannot hate yourself into the body of your dreams. That's number one. That's the first thing that I had to fix. I didn't find this out till later, but that's one of the first things I had to fix. The second thing was the low self-esteem, low confidence. Like, all of that, you can't have low self-esteem and have low confidence in yourself and then expect top tier results. It just doesn't work that way. Then the third thing that I found out was I have medical conditions that actually cause my body to resist weight loss efforts. Like, it tries to hold on to it. And that's one of those things I can't stand, when people try to give blanket advice. And this was what I was alluding to earlier, when people always, people like to insert their unasked for opinions. And, oh, all you got to do is just eat less and exercise. Oh, you're just big because you're lazy. No. Now, that may be true in some cases. Yeah, I'm sure there are people that just sit and they just eat trash, don't work out, don't exercise, don't try, none of that. But there are a great bit of people who actually do their best at coming up with eating plans, at doing workouts, and they don't get the results that they're looking for. All the while, it's part of their body's biochemistry that's off. There's a breakdown somewhere. They just don't know what it is, where it is. All they know is, I'm big and I'm trying to lose weight and I can't. And that's why it's so it's just infuriating when people sit up there and they try to just make it simple. And I did post some of the comments that I had gotten over the year, just a couple over the years, about certain things. And how are you going to tell me about what's going on with my body and I don't even know you? Oh, don't give me that. It's just an excuse. No, it's not an excuse. There are real life things that people go through in their bodies, particularly women, that we go through that causes X, Y, and Z. And unless you know to go look for certain things, you won't know. A lot of things are diagnosed through exclusion, meaning other things have to be ruled out before they get to this here. So, everybody's not fat just because they just like to eat all the time and are lazy. Okay, let's just get rid of that. That's not it. Not in every case. So I did find out I had issues that needed to be resolved. Around age 29, I found out that I deal with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I also deal with metabolic syndrome. And when I was around 38, discovered there's lupus as well. So all of these factors made a difference. It's no wonder that I've done, keto, intermittent fasting, veganism, almost passed out trying to do veganism. We'll talk about that in another episode. Passed out in a workout class because I just didn't have enough. And some of those things are actually hurtful in certain situations. Like, for example, with me dealing with PCOS, it's not advisable for me to have a vegan diet. But if you listen to some of these people out here, they'll have you thinking that you're crazy if you don't carry a vegan diet. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody's approach is different. We're all individuals. So everybody doesn't need to follow the same thing. You can't, because all of our bodies are different. And so people need to quit making the assumption that this is the only thing that's going to work. Well, no, it may not, because all of our bodies are different. Okay, so once I found those things out, it explained so much. It explained why I was going so hard and why my body seemed to be fighting against me. And in some cases, the things that I was doing, I was actually harming myself, thinking that I was helping myself. So it also explained the emotional and mental states that I was in, because some of those things precipitate, depression, anxiety, being, overly sensitive, and it's a lot that's at play, because these are all hormonal situations, and then inflammatory responses. So I have a lot of stress, or had a lot of stress in my life. So the stress was it was like a feedback loop. Like, the symptoms and everything were driving the conditions, but the conditions were driving the symptoms. So it was just on and on. The stress was just pushing all of this. Okay. So when you're dealing with all of that, and then stress, and then life on top of all of that, it makes certain things very difficult. Okay. Weight loss being one of those. Okay. Now, one of the biggest turning moments that I had in my life regarding my health was my pregnancy. Okay. So I was already on a path to weight loss yet again. Okay. This was 2014. So I was working out with someone, I was doing well. I even did my very first 5K pregnant. I walked it. I didn't run now, but I walked, did my very first 5K. But I was noticing at certain points, I would have problems trying to breathe. I would feel like I was just coughing, and it felt like fluid, but I couldn't cough it out. So during the course of probably 3 weeks or so, I went back and forth to the ER probably 4 times. And they would just check my blood pressure, take an EKG. Oh, it's normal. Or we're going home. Okay, but I'm still coughing. I'm still not able to breathe properly. Like, I don't know, something's going on. So that 4th and final time, they sent me home, but I went back and refused to leave until they figured out what was wrong. Well, I come to find out, I ended up getting diagnosed with CHF, congestive heart failure. So I was about 14 weeks pregnant, and normally, so what it deals with is called the ejection fraction. So the proficiency that your heart is pumping blood to the rest of your body. Normal is typically 50 to 75%. Mine dropped all the way to 22. To put you on a seriousness scale, they typically consider transplants at 15. So this was a big deal. And they were the doctor was trying to get me to terminate my pregnancy. And I cried and cried. I'm like, no, I can't do this, because, I was, hadn't been too long, gotten divorced, and was dealing with someone new. And so this was a surprise. She wasn't planned, but she was a pleasant surprise. My ex-husband and I had tried for probably 3.5, 4 years, and we just never were successful. But me knowing what I know about PCOS, which I will go over in another episode, but me knowing what I know, we just assumed that the problem was me. So when this miracle baby came, I was overly excited because I always wanted children. I always wanted marriage, children, all of the things. So it's like, now I have this baby, I've heard the heartbeat, I've fallen in love, and now you're telling me I can't do that. So then she went to go get another doctor, and he basically told me, well, if you continue with this pregnancy, you and the baby are going to die. Well, that's a chance that we're just going to have to take, because I can't do that. I can't. I've already bonded with this baby. All the mother thing, like, it was already going. There was no way that I was going to be able to terminate. So I found all of this out on my father's birthday. And I call him trying to tell him happy birthday, but I'm just in tears. I'm boohoo crying. So he's trying to comfort me and tell me, it's going to be okay. Don't, stop crying. Like, I mean, y'all, I was screaming, boo-hoo, I was a mess. Okay. But they called another doctor. And now physicians cannot really tell you what to do, but in not so many words, he was like, don't do that. I'm going to get you through this. What I didn't know, first of all, he was divinely sent. What I did not know until later, his wife was dealing with the exact same issue. She was also pregnant, also dealing with the exact same CHF. It was their first baby. It was nothing but divine intervention, because my case was personal to him. And so we went through this journey together. Like, I got with him and a cardiologist. He was mad cool. He was, he was an older man. He was probably in his 70s. So I just followed the things that they did. Now, remember, I told you I was already, again, working on weight loss. So I was already doing the things. I was already conscious of my nutrition and conscious of, making sure I get exercise. Now I had to pull back on some of the exercise due to the condition, but I still kept the nutrition going, and I did little things here and there. I had to stop work. I had, all of these things. And I'm like, God, if you get me through this, I promise I will do whatever I have to do to get my body together. So I went, did all the things, took my medicine, went on my checkups, everything I had to do. By the time I got to 28 weeks, my ejection fraction was all the way back normal. So when the cardiologist got the results, he cussed. And he was like, I have never seen a case like yours before, and I probably never will again. Now, I don't know. I fell out of touch with him, but I do keep in contact with my other doctor. Our babies are 3 weeks apart, both girls. And so we still keep in touch to this day. He won't let me call him doctor anymore. He will make me call him by his first name. But we still keep in touch because these girls have bonded us forever. So that was one of the major turning points. So again, I'm doing all the things, trying to intermittent fasting again, Weight Watchers, doing keto, calorie counting. I did 21-day fix. I still have the containers in the kitchen from the 21-day fix. Again, veganism, starvation. I would exercise every day of the week, all 7 days, anywhere from 1 hour to 3 hours, just by every day. Sometimes I would get up 5 o'clock in the morning, work out before work. I would come home or get off work, go pick the baby up, go to the Y, take her to the daycare, go work out again before a workout cut. Like I was constantly just doing, and it just was not clicking. I love to travel. I started traveling internationally. And, the thing about planes, those seat belts, planes are small, and those seat belts the seats period are small. So I'm sitting there and, I'm this, big woman, because I was I was well over 300 pounds. So I was probably 350s. My all-time heavy, I was 370. So I'm sitting in these plane seats and I'm trying to squeeze together so I wouldn't make people on the sides of me uncomfortable or push to the side or whatever. And I'm trying to hurry up and get buckled in because we got rude flight attendants that will sit there and loudly ask in front of everybody, you want a seatbelt extender? I had one just literally hand me one. I already had my seatbelt buckled, and she just handed me one. And all these people were just watching. It was so embarrassing. Oh my God. Again, these are things that people who have never been overweight, y'all don't have to think about or deal with this, but it really is a different level of embarrassment. It's a different level of fear. It's just different, because like I said, the world is not friendly to big people. I mean, it was rough. It was embarrassing. And then when you get to certain places, and you can hear people speaking in their dialect, but they're pointing and laughing at you. So they're talking about you, and likely what they're talking about, but you don't understand the language, so you don't know. So it's like, you don't know, but you know. You know what I'm saying? So things like that. Walking in stores and people are just staring at you, or you come up beside somebody and they act like they don't see you, like you're invisible. They don't see you. Those are just some of the things. So, some of the things that I absolutely disliked and what used to push me to just try to go even harder. So the last major push. So I was getting ready for a photo shoot and it was already tough for me to find outfits. 1, that I liked, 2, that were in my size, and 3, that were the colors and stuff that I needed. And I'm trying all these different combinations and nothing is really working like I wanted to, but I'm like, it's going to have to do because this is what fits me. So I was like, I can get a shaper and try to suck some of this in so this won't look that way and blah, 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 blah. So I got really excited about getting into this shaper to kind of help suck some of it in. So I get the shaper probably a few days before my shoot, and it didn't fit. And I fell apart. And I know you're probably like, you crying over a shaper? Yes, because it was just the culmination of everything that I had been through, everything that had happened. It just pinpointed right there. And so it was at that moment, you know, I'm sitting there. It was a couple of months before my birthday. It was a few months before my birthday that year. And so I was still 38. Still 38. I'd have been turning 39 in a few months. I'm sitting up here. I said, listen, you're going to be 40 years old next year. 40 is not going to see you in this body. It's not. We're going to have to get more extreme. We're going to have to step it up. We're going to have to do something. But we're not crossing over that 40 threshold. 350 some odd pounds. We're not doing that. We're just not going to do it. So I went through my photo shoot and the pictures came out nice. But of course, they weren't what I wanted because I was not happy with what I was looking at. That's where I'm going to stop for tonight, y'all. So that's kind of my introduction. Those are my turning points and things that got me to make some changes. We will pick back up next week with a couple of things. As always, you can feel free to drop any questions or anything like that you might want to cover. So, you know, I share, you're welcome. You know, I shared those moments, just a little peek at my life, things that I had gone through up until that point. Just a few of things. We'll talk more. Again, I could keep going, but I don't want to keep y'all here all night. It's already been about 30 minutes. Oh, mwah, love you too. So yes, please tune back in. I will be back next Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And share more stories on my weight loss journey. Now, for those who are thinking, hey, you might want to make some changes, you ready to go, you want to get going, you want to get some results of your own, I have a weight loss warriors program, would love for you to join. So if that is of interest to you, go ahead, schedule your consultation. I have the link in my bio. I'll see if I can drop it in the comments. I don't know if it'll let you click or not, but I will put the link there, but it is in my bio. And we can see if we're a good fit to work with each other, because I understand. I've been there. This has been a very difficult road that I have walked. Okay. And this started in childhood, going all the way up to now. And I'm still walking it. Am I perfect? No. I'm still working on things, but I'm a lot closer than I used to be. Okay. So for those who are dealing with health issues or confidence issues, if you need accountability, you need all of that, sign up for a consultation. Let's talk about it and let's see what we can do with each other. Looking to start on September 9th with my next cohort. So excited for that. We'll have each other. You'll have me and others that'll support you along your journey. Okay. So tune back in next Wednesday for episode 2. You all have a wonderful, blessed evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye.